Jay from Team DMA. Quick video, you guys, regarding people who are new to Yu-Gi-Oh! That are starting up, but also at the same time with experienced players. This is gonna be like a pro tip that a lot of people don't know, but some people do. So here's the thing: everybody that plays the deck knows that they change it a lot. Some people, like me personally, I know people that change it about 3 to 4 times per day, and there's people that can change it even 5 to 10 times per day, and the numbers just keeps going up and up and up, and you think it's not true. Well, then you have no clue about what's really going on in Yu-Gi-Oh. People can change their deck up to 20 times in a day, and that's normal. People do that all the time. Now there's other people that change it every week, and then it keeps adding every month. And like me, I update the deck every time there's an update, so somewhere around 6 months. Every 6 months I update my deck. Like I'll switch a few cards around to accommodate to the current meta. But the important part is why you're changing your deck, because a lot of people, like, they lose duels. Like, let's say they have 10 singles. It could be Master Duel or 6 matches on TCG, and they win one and they lose the rest. You should record the duels and go back and review them and see why you lost and what happened. The reason for that is because when I started dueling, in the very beginning, like in 2019, for the first 6 months to a year, I wasn't getting any good consistent wins, like from May 2019 all the way to, I'm not too sure, maybe February or close to May of 2020 when the COVID hit. I was probably like a 50% win rate, and sometimes even worse. And somewhere around the end of that year to 2021 is when the AC 130 was complete. So what I noticed was when I went back on my duels, so out of 10 duels, I only won once, and I lost all the other 9 singles. And then other match, it was the same thing. I won one match and lost all the rest of them. And what I found out from checking my duels was this. This is very important. When I went back on the duels, I found out that I should have only lost 1 or 2 games. All the rest I should have won. And you're wondering why. Because I found out that it was a misplace, mistiming, wrong sequence, wrong time, wrong timing. So just today, I think I had a Master Duel because I'm practicing with my deck, and I lost to a Cyber Dragon. So I didn't read the card because a lot of people don't read the cards, and that's one of the big no-nos in Yu-Gi-Oh! If you don't know a card, don't just click it and go over, because that's the reason why you're gonna lose. And this is like common knowledge. Yu-Gi-Oh! Players hate to read because you have to read too much, and some of the cards have way too much text. But to be honest with you, if you're planning on increasing your win rate, you're gonna have to change the attitude of yours. You're gonna have to start carrying, start reading, start taking your time. Because some people feel like, why read it, or I don't have time. But no, no, no. The win rate will increase dramatically. After that, I started reading all the cards. It didn't matter if they were good or bad, I would read them. And when I started reading them, I started getting the timing better, because they play a normal spell, but it doesn't need to be negated because that spell is going to search another one. Then when they play the other spell, then I'll trigger the effect to negate it. And you might be wondering, like, why negate it? Because sometimes they might just play a card to bait you. You might need to wait. So it depends on what the card reads, the text, monster, spell, or trap. And if you're forced to, then negate it. And if not, just let it go through. So why do I mention that? Because a lot of people could be having duels. Like, there's a lot of top tier decks, like at least 10. You have like the Bestial Dragon Link. A lot of people don't agree, but when you go to their channel, they're not going against these broken versions. I played all the YCS versions. They're on my channel. You guys have seen them. They have somewhere around 6 negates and like 2 interruptions, and they're banishing everything, both field and graveyard. And I still won the duels. You guys have seen plenty of those duels. And one of the things that I noticed is timing and sequence and reading the cards. I don't know every card, so you gotta read them. Take your time and read the card. Even even if you're gonna lose that duel because you're reading too much and you're gonna time out, it doesn't matter as long as you read the card. That way, next time you duel, you know. Or save the duel and go back and read it. And what ends up happening is a lot of the losses actually come from misplays. And when I sit down and watch people duel, like I sit down, I go on a live stream or I go with my friends. When I sit down, I try not to say nothing, but I'm always commenting, saying something because I analyze everything. And I don't mean to come too strong or someone or like bother them, like, man, shut up or something like that. But because everything's being analyzed, and in reality, a lot of those are being lost by misplays. So in a sense, if somebody else were to grab the deck and they were to do the same thing, or you yourself were to replay again the same duel with zero mistakes, you would win. So in order for the win rate to go higher, it's like hand in hand. Like if you want to jump, if you want to walk, I'm sorry, if you want to walk, you need the left leg and the right leg, you know, take steps. Also, if you want to increase the win rate, it goes hand in hand. That the left side, you got the deck, and then you have you, and then you have the right side, the misplays and the timing. Like it has to be accurate. If you can do that, you're gonna be walking through the decks. You're gonna be walking through wins, and your win rate is gonna start going up. Guarantee 100%. So keep that in mind. If you guys need to jot it down in your mind, your heart, or a pen and a paper and a notepad, go ahead and do so, because that's gonna be the end of the video. If you want your win rates to increase, you're gonna have to read all the cards, and then when you lose, save the duel, go back and watch it again. See if you lost because of a misplay, and if you did a misplay, don't do that same misplay again. Next time, do it correctly and win the duel. The other thing that I've been noticing, the other thing that I've been strongly suggesting for people, and the video's got a definitely in right now, is don't give up. A lot of people, and this isn't something new, I tell you guys all the time, like let's say I have 10 duels, right? And 3 out of those duels I should have lost because they broke my board because I was top decking. 3 out of those 10, 3 of them, or if I had 6 matches, maybe 1 or 2 of those, I should surrender. I should not waste my time because I'm top decky, because like I said, they blew my field. I got nothing. But if you notice on my channel, they blow my field up. I'm top decking. And what happens? I pull the win. So how many channels can you say do that? Especially Dark Magician with a budget. There is none. Because a lot of decks, they can't pull the top deck card to win. So why do I mention that? Because those things increase, again, going back to rule number 1, or the main thing that we're talking about, increasing your win rate. Go to the end. It doesn't matter if he's gonna attack you, because sometimes you might have 100 life points, 1,000 life points, and you can set up a combo. If you build a good deck, if you're a good deck builder, if you're a good player, you should be able to pull the win. Now, there's gonna be times where you lose, and you have to take the loss, because the decks have like a percentage to where sometimes you draw like a top tier hand, and other times you draw a mediocre hand, and sometimes you might draw like a brick hand. You have to know how to turn the brick hand into a top tier hand and the mediocre hand into a top tier hand. If you can't do that, you can switch to defense. And that's another thing. You have to know when to go offensively and when to switch to defense. I'm not winning the duels all the time. Look at my duels. Sometimes I have to switch to defense, you guys. I'm playing the defensive position. And then I switch to offense, defense and offense. You gotta know when to switch on and switch off. Sometimes you have to, like I say always, you have to lose that one turn, but it doesn't matter because you're gonna win the whole duel. And I do that a lot. I know nobody teaches you guys that, because I've never heard it, but it's something I practice and it increases my win rate. It's okay to lose the turn, but don't lose the whole duel. So I was doing against one of the YCS, several YCS, and you guys saw that they outnumbered me. They blew up my whole field, remember? Multiple times. I have at least 50 of those videos. And then I just do a comeback and it drops your jaw like, how the heck? And that's exactly what I'm saying. So correct your misplays, rewatch them, don't change your deck. You're fine. If it's a misplay, you don't need to change your deck. Never give up, play it through the end, and you'll see your win rate starting to go up. Careful with the cards that you play, because if you top deck a card and that card is dead, that's why you're losing. That's it for the video. Hopefully that was helpful. Quick recap. Don't change your deck so much. Analyze the duels that you lose. See if you did misplays, correct them. And the other ones, don't give up on a duel. Grind it till the end. And what you're going to start noticing, your win rate is going to start going higher, higher. And you're going to reach a peak. The peak that you're trying to do is 80% is good enough. We ain't trying to do 90 or 100. That's not going to happen. There's a lot of people who say 100% when they're lying. 80% is as good as it's going to get. 80% is YCS style, the top 10 decks, believe me. Because some of those decks lose at least 1 or 2 duels through all of them, and they still make it to the top. I'm sure you're aware of that. So you need somewhere around 80%. Gotta end the video. With that being said, Dark Magic Attack.